All right, so without further ado, it's Jamie Marsland is a YouTuber, but he has not started there. He has done a life of in publishing. He also has taught 5,000 WordPress users in about 10 years, and his plugins, or his company's plugins, are used by thousands of customers worldwide. His YouTube channel is dedicated to helping people in WordPress and has now, well, the description says 23,000, but between applying for the talk and today, he raised it to 45,000 subscribers. So if you want to also know how to increase a YouTube audience, he would also be your guy. But today he's talking about mastering WordPress block themes, the 3 principles for beginners. Jamie, give him a big round of applause for Jamie Marsland.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on. Hi, everyone. Quick show of hands. Who here is currently using block themes, just so I can see? Ooh, that's good. Who here came to the WordPress speed build last night? Who here enjoyed the WordPress speed build last night? Who here thinks we should do these at every WordCamp? Yeah, cool, okay. So the whole idea behind this presentation is to give you a head start in using block themes. So I'm going to talk about 3 principles. So you walk out the door. So if you are just about to start using block themes, it'll help you save hours of time and give you a head start. I'm also going to show you some cool stuff as well. My background is, I started this business actually 15 years ago. My business is called WordPress. And it started 15 years ago. And I used to, and I still do, train people on WordPress. And I started the business by taking out a Google ad for a WordPress in a day training course. And for £95, a long time ago. And the next day, I got my first booking. And over the previous 10 years, or the past 10 years, I then traveled around the UK, hiring out meeting rooms and pubs and wherever I could get venues, training people face-to-face on WordPress in a room, 10 to 15 people. So, as was mentioned, I've trained over 5,000 people face-to-face on WordPress. Probably train more people in WordPress face-to-face than anyone in the world. So that's my background. And it's one of the reasons I love WordPress so much, because you can take a complete beginner at the start of a day in WordPress, and if you run a proper course, by the end of the day, they can be building websites with WordPress. And they can be building businesses that are using those websites. So it's transformational for a lot of people. And that's also one of the reasons I love block themes, because they democratize, where WordPress democratizes publishing, WordPress block themes democratize theme design. And that's what I'm going to talk about a bit today. So now with block themes, anyone can really build a theme with WordPress. So if you're a designer that can't code, you can definitely go off and build your own themes now with WordPress. If you're a creative that doesn't want to learn how to code, you can definitely learn how to build block themes. And because block themes are 100% made out of blocks, then you can build beautiful experiences like this. So what you're seeing here is just made out of core blocks. There's absolutely no CSS. This is just using cover blocks with a nice, the gradient overlay that you can do in WordPress now. And you can also do cool things like this. This one here is built using 2 cover blocks. And you have like layers, so within a cover block, because it's a container, let me pause that. Because it's a container block, the cover block, you can actually put 2 layers. So the top layer is like a transparent PNG, and the back layer you fix, and you get this amazing parallax effect. This next one here, and these are all just core blocks here. There's nothing custom here. This is like using the cover block to create an animation. This is a scroll snap with the cover block. tiny bit of CSS. This again is using a cover block with 2 layers, and then the Rickroll is actually using a little plugin to do a Rickroll effect. This one here is just using the core row block and using a tiny bit of mixed blend CSS so you can show the background image behind it. Get this really cool, beautiful effect really simply. All these tutorials are available on my YouTube channel if you want to learn exactly how to do each of the effects that I've just shown you. But they're really, thank you, yeah. So we've lost complete. I love, let's come back to that. I love the block editor and block themes because they give me this incredible creative ability to do these things out of the box with WordPress, with no plugins. So it's been incredibly freeing for me. And that's kind of why I love block themes as well. If you came to the speed build last night, so the speed build is this concept where we have two players, and they have half an hour to build a website. And I show them the website they're going to build, and they have 5 minutes to prep, and then they build it. And these have been running on my YouTube channel for a few weeks. And then last night we did one with Rich Table and Jessica Lushik, where I gave them the website. And so those of you that were there, thank you for coming. It was cool, and it kind of worked. And this is actually the site that Rich Table built in 30 minutes. Let me show you this. This is it here. So he built all this without seeing what he was going to build in 30 minutes. He even went off and created the post so he could use the query loop block in that front page. No custom CSS, just pure block theme and the block editor. Pretty cool, hey? And of course, we now have, as the default WordPress theme, 2024. So I'm going to show you here some. So again, on my YouTube channel, I took 2024 and I kind of thought, what could I do with it? So I built a number of different types of sites with it. I'm just going to show you what those are here. Not that one, this one here. So this is all the 2024 theme. So this is, and I gave myself a few challenges. Could I build a portfolio type website with it? Which you just saw. This is an e-commerce website. This is just native 2024 with WooCommerce built on top. Absolutely nothing custom. Looks really beautiful. The checkout experience has been customized a bit to remove the header and footer so you get a distraction-free checkout. This was a little one-pager that I built with it. And this is actually just using the core block theme patterns that comes with 2024 as well. This was like a blog site that I built with it. I just wanted to flex and see what was possible with just core 2024 and core the block editor. And it's amazing what's possible now. And this was a kind of fifth example, which was a business-type website. As part of my YouTube channel, you may have seen these if you go onto my YouTube channel, I've taken a number of famous websites and tried to recreate them just using core WordPress. So I'm going to show you a few examples of some of these. This is Peter McKinnon, who's a huge YouTuber, and he does some amazing stuff. But his website was really cool. So in these examples, my website's over on the left, the original website's over on the right, and I give myself half an hour and see how close I can get to them just using core. So you can see I'm scrolling up my site on the left and then Peter's website on the right, and I get pretty close in half an hour. It's not identical, but not far away. It's incredible how flexible this stuff is now, just out of the box. This one here is the Tesla website. It's another example. Most of this is built using the core the cover block with a tiny bit of CSS to do, it does a little snap to scroll thing in a minute. And it has this nice transparent header. Again, very simple to do in any block theme, really. It also has a transparent header as well. And it's sticky, which is cool. And this one here, actually, is a portfolio website. Not so famous, but I just thought it was beautiful. And it has this sticky column on the left. And then actually it has a customized single post template as you go to it. The next example was a one-pager I built. And this features this kind of glass morphic effect on the menu. Can you see the menu at the top? and it's got smooth scroll going down to individual sections within the page. All the heavy lifting with this one, it's pretty cool. All the heavy lifting with this one was built just using 2024 again. So completely core WordPress. So hopefully you can see that all block themes come with these amazing superpowers. They're incredibly flexible, okay? So every block theme has a number of amazing things built into it out the box that you don't have to install or add plugins for. And those are, every single block theme has a header builder, as you can see up on the screen. Every single block theme allows you to edit templates. And those are things like your page templates and your post templates. You can create landing pages. You can customize the 404 page. You can curate the editing experience. So you can give your users different editing experiences depending on the roles they have in your organization. You can lock blocks. You have global styles. We have a font library. We have patterns. We have pattern overrides, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. We have style revisions. Plugins like WooCommerce give you access to edit their templates, like the product page and the shop page. And you can also now create themes. So you can build your designs using the site editor, and using a free plugin called the Create Block Theme plugin, you can export that out and create your very own themes with absolutely no code. It's so empowering. And here's a quick example. This is actually the old interface of the Create Block Theme plugin. It's being updated at the moment. But you can literally design your theme using all the tools that WordPress gives you in the site editor, and you can export those out as your very own theme to use on different sites, or you can even sell them if you want to start a theme business. Okay, so even though hopefully you've seen that block themes give you this enormous power, there is at the moment, for sure, there is a steeper learning curve to using a block theme than if you're just going to use a classic theme. So I just wanted to give you 3 principles that should help you get up and running with block themes in no time at all. We're going back to basics here, but this is really important stuff. And this stuff is important whether you're using a block theme or a classic theme or even a page builder. So when a person visits a page on your website, as you can see on my high-tech whiteboard, a process happens magically behind the scenes to display the page with its full design and layout, not just plain text. So when somebody clicks a link or types a URL, they're asking WordPress to show them that specific page. So WordPress checks what the visitor wants to see, like a blog page or a home page. WordPress then goes to its database to fetch the required content. It then selects a template for that content. And templates are preset designs for different types of pages. There's a template for blog posts, and another for your home page, and many more. Okay? And then WordPress places the content, such as text and images from that blog post, onto that template. And the template determines the placement and appearance of elements like title, content, and images. And the page is a mixture of content and design. And that is actually one of the key strengths of WordPress. WordPress separates your content from your design, which gives you enormous amounts of flexibility. So you can have one template that's actually being used by 1,000 pages. And if you make a change to that template, it will affect all those 1,000 pages in terms of the design. So you can change it in one place and have that affect thousands of pages. It's incredibly powerful and gives you enormous amounts of flexibility. And when you use a WordPress block theme, you get automatic access to edit all your important templates. And those are your page templates, your post templates, your blog post template, your search results, your 404, and many, many more. So WordPress block themes revolutionize the way websites are built and designed. And they simplify the process down to just 3 core principles. And those are templates, blocks, and styles. Templates, blocks, and styles. That's all you really need to worry about when you're building with block themes. So let's have a quick look at templates. So as we've seen, templates are the framework of your web pages. In block themes, templates define the structure and layout of different parts of your website, such as your home page, your blog page, individual pages. And templates dictate where elements like the headers and the footers and the context and the text go. But this is really important. Templates are made 100% out of blocks in a block theme. Templates are made 100% out of blocks. And blocks are the building blocks of your templates. Blocks like your site title, your navigation, your page title, content, featured image, buttons, and more. Everything on your website, when you're using a block theme, is made out of blocks. Then we have styles. And styles encompass things like fonts and colors and spacing. They're what give your site its unique look and feel, ensuring that despite the structured nature of your templates, your website can still have a personalized and creative touch. And within templates, we also have template parts. Think of template parts a bit like mini templates, or a little bit like widgets, if you remember widgets. And the whole point, the whole reason really for template parts is they allow us to create content in one place and then reuse that content in multiple templates. So for example, we can create a header template part and reuse that template part in the post template, the page template, and the blog template, or any templates that we have on our site. So, to summarize how block themes work, here's our visitor again. He goes to your website and looks at one of your pages. WordPress goes to its database and pulls out the content of that page, and that page has a decision to make. It needs to choose which of your templates it's going to display, going to use to display it. Now, because it's a page, it's going to use the page template. If it was a post, it would use a post template. But your templates are also made of 2 things, blocks and styles. And magically, WordPress compiles all these things together and displays the finished, fully customized page back to our viewer. And that's the workflow on how WordPress block themes work. And how it's called the template hierarchy in WordPress, but that's the process. Just want to talk a little bit about classic themes. So with classic themes, we typically customize sites using the customizer, okay? And here's 4 examples. So on the far left, we've got the Neve theme, then we've got GeneratePress, then we've got Blocksy, and then we've got Astra. And we can use these to customize essentially the templates and the styles of our sites. But a few things to note. One is you can see all the options are different depending on the theme you're using, which as somebody that's trained for over 5,000 people on WordPress is a major training issue because everyone's experience of WordPress is very different depending on what theme you're using. And the second thing to note is the options will always be limited because they have to be built in by the theme developer to avail them to the end users. Okay. Whereas with a block theme, for the first time, we have direct access to edit our templates. So there's really no limitations on what we can change in terms of our template design. Whereas with classic themes, we're always confronted with what the theme developer can build into it. So with block themes, we have a unified interface, which I'm a huge, huge fan of, coming from a training background. It means that once you learn how to use one block theme, you'll be able to use any block theme that you pick up because they all share the same interface. So training requirements go way down. And these are the most important templates that block themes allow you to edit. So your front page template, your blog page, your single post, your single page template. If you're creating custom post types, block themes will automatically create a template that you can edit to customize that single post, that custom post type. You can customize the search results page, category and tag pages, your 404 pages, and you can also create custom templates as well, which are great for things like landing pages. And so when you're using the site editor, you can see on the screen here, if you go into your templates, you will see a visual representation now of all the block templates that you can edit. And of course, they're made out of blocks. So you can dive into that and change the layout completely to how you like it. So we've now, for the first time, got 100% control over the design of our templates. And of course, the templates are driving all the design on our site, fundamentally, because WordPress is a template-based system. So it's one of the reasons I love block themes so much, because they give me this ultimate flexibility to have control over the design of my website. So if I want to change the page template, I can click on the page template and edit it. And of course, because that template is being used, let's say, on 1,000 pages on my site, all those 1,000 pages design would change instantly because I've edited the main template. And here's an example of me customizing or customize the single post template on the 2024 theme. Let's just go back to that for you. And I'm using the new negative margin that's coming in WordPress 6.6 to do that overlay where the content's overlapping. Thank you. Overlapping the, let me show you that again. Overlapping the header image. I won't show you that again. The other cool thing that's happening is that plugins are being blockified, and they're making their templates available for you to edit. So WooCommerce, now, if you're using a block theme and you're using WooCommerce, you can edit all these templates without having to do anything. They just naturally appear for you to edit. So your product page, shop page, category pages, order confirmation, and checkout. And here's an example of the WooCommerce single product page that you can now customize because it's a template. So you just have to use a block theme, install WooCommerce, and you can now fully customize your single product page. No plugins, just core WordPress. It's incredibly powerful. So if you want to create a completely unique design for your single product page, it's simple because it's just blocks. You want to create a big hero image on your single product page, get rid of the header. It's incredibly simple. Principle 2, blocks. So block themes are made up of blocks, and to enable us to build themes with blocks, WordPress has created a whole bunch of theme blocks for us. Things like the navigation, the site logo, title, featured image, content. And of course, you can just use these blocks to edit your templates, because we're all made out of blocks now in templates. And WordPress also is making great strides. This has been one of the weaknesses of the block editor. It's making great strides to help us create great layouts just using core WordPress. Here's another example of a site I built recently for WordPress on the WordPress.com YouTube channel. This is I recreated the New York Times. You're about to see it. My attempt is on the left. The real website's on the right. This is going to play fairly quickly, but this is using the query loop block. So the real website's on the right. I'm building it over on the left. I'm just using the core query loop block to build this. And essentially, the query loop block lets us create post grids. That's what it does. But you can see I get pretty close. So with a query loop block, the query loop block is actually a collection of blocks within it. So you can choose which parts of that grid you show, whether it's the featured image, or the title, or the excerpt. And you can change the layout pretty easily. Also has an offset, so you can have two query loop blocks on one page and tell it to skip a certain number of posts, which I'm doing on this site. And also coming in WordPress 6.6, which is incredibly exciting, is a brand new grid block, which I'm going to show you now. So if you want to use this today, just install the Gutenberg plugin, because it comes with that. But this is the new grid block, which is based on the CSS grid spec. It's like a cut-down version of the CSS grid spec, but it lets you do things like this. It's got this really cool visual drag thing. You can drag it across. You can span rows and columns now. So in this example, I'm adding the CSS grid container block. And then within that, I'm putting a number of group blocks. You'll see over on the right, I can set a minimum column width. So it's going to be aware of that column width depending on the device it's being shown on, which is great for, obviously, for tablets and mobile, because you can say, I want this at 300 pixels, regardless of the device. It's pretty cool. And that's coming in WordPress 6.6. Yeah. The other thing to look for when you're looking at block themes is patterns. Patterns are professionally designed layouts of blocks. And it's one of the things when you're choosing a block theme to consider, because some block themes come with some really beautiful patterns. So you can literally just insert them into your pages, and you can become, if you're not a great designer, you can take advantage of those designs with one click and add them to your sites. One of my favorite examples is the Ollie theme from Mike McAllister, which you may have heard about. It's freely available on WordPress.org. And here are some of the patterns that come with the Ollie theme. And you can see over on the left here, they're categorized. And then you can see in the main screen here, the pre-designs that you can just add into your sites. So Mike's, his attention to detail is just beautiful. And you can create these, you can add these little components into your sites to create these little sections. Or he even gives you some whole pages if you want to create whole pages. And then you can just go and edit the content because, of course, they're just made out of blocks. WordPress.com also now has a pattern library, which is a bit like a wireframing library. Rich Table has been involved in this one. And one of the beautiful things about patterns is you can literally just copy and paste them between sites. So that's what I'm doing in that demo. I'm just copying them from the WordPress.com pattern library onto my site. So patterns are transferable and reusable, which is super cool. The third principle is styles, which really are your colors and fonts. Also things like spacing. And in WordPress now, coming in 6.6, what you're seeing up on the screen is theme variations. But now in WordPress 6.6, the theme is going to be able to give us the ability to change, separate the colors, or choose colors separately from our fonts, which is super cool. There's been so much progress going on in this space at the moment, it's hard to keep up. There's some really exciting stuff coming. This is one of my favorite features of block themes. This is called the Style Book. Again, every single block theme has this. This is a visual place where you can edit the styles of all your blocks and see actually what they're going to look like, which is great because you see them in situ. You can see like what a heading looks like, what a paragraph block, and you can do things in here like change all the fonts and the colors and the spacing and all that sort of stuff. Again, that's built into every single block theme. So to put it all together, once we've got these three concepts of templates, styles, and blocks. So here's our website visitor again. He goes to look at one of your pages, pulls out the content. The page makes the decision which template to use. It compiles all these things together. The template gets the blocks for that template and the styles for that template, and then presents that page back to our viewer in an instant. It's super cool. So that's where we're at right now with block themes. But some of the most exciting stuff with block themes is happening right now. So this is a perfect time to start to dive into block themes in terms of where we're at in its evolution, in my view. So what's coming next are some UI improvements to make them easier to use, because there is still a learning curve with block themes. Definitely that needs to be squashed. We've also got things like custom field support, which is cool. One of the promises is you're going to be able to register block styles with the editor. And then for me, the most exciting thing that's coming in a few weeks with WordPress 6.6 are pattern overrides. Does anyone use pattern overrides yet? Does anyone know what they are? A few people. OK. So let me show you what pattern overrides are. So the concept of pattern overrides is that you can create a pattern centrally, create a design centrally, and then you can reuse that pattern on as many pages as you like. And your end users can dive into that pattern and make their changes. So I've got an example for you. So in this example here, you'll see on the top left is the pattern I've created centrally. And then you'll see on the right-hand half of the screen the pages on my site where I've used that pattern. So I've got a page at the top called Summer Holiday, a page at the bottom called Winter Holiday, and you can see that all those patterns have got different text in, which is cool. But what we're going to be able to do now in WordPress 6.6 is change the design of the central pattern and have that flow down to every instance where that pattern has been used on my site without affecting the content. So we have a synchronized pattern where our users can change the content, but we can control the design centrally. So you can see in the top left, I've changed my design, and then on every page where that design has been used, those patterns are updating. And you can change the entire design of that website. So if that pattern's been used on 1,000 pages, all those pages would instantly reflect that new design. It's an incredibly powerful and profound concept, because you can also put patterns in patterns. I call these WordPress components. I think these are WordPress components, and they're incredibly powerful. We can do more, though. You can also add new elements into that pattern. So in this example, it's the same idea, but you'll see I've actually added a new block into that central pattern, which is a paragraph block with the date in. And then if I update all the patterns where that has been used, all those patterns will be updated with that brand new element, essentially. So pattern overrides are coming in WordPress 6.6, and they're profoundly powerful. I think they're the most exciting thing that's going to happen over the last few years with WordPress. I think we're going to see some really cool stuff. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. If you want to dive into some of those neat effects I showed you, then all those tutorials are on YouTube, where you can find me at JamieWP. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's where I am. But go to YouTube, subscribe to YouTube. All the tutorials are on there. And thanks for watching. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.